Yo, we are live. We're live. All right. So we'll go ahead and cover this real fast. Y'all know every time I come on my fitness channel, my idea is to just get through it as fast as I can. Not because I'm in any type of rush, just because I just feel like, listen, I don't think this stuff is really that difficult to figure out. It can be complicated. It will be complicated only if you don't have as much knowledge. Um, and after time, you'll develop and gain enough knowledge, and after that you'll find that this stuff is very easy to figure out, very, very simple. Nothing really all that extravagant. All right. So let's talk about the topics that I want to go ahead and cover today. I'm not sure exactly how many I'm gonna get to, but I did say if I don't end up getting to all my topics today or my questions, I'm gonna definitely get into it tomorrow. I'm looking to do this on a day-to-day basis just to keep y'all fully tapped in. If y'all do have any questions and you would like for me to answer anything, go ahead and fill up my box. You could either email me or you could actually leave me a comment on here, or whatever you feel is easier for you to do. I'll be sure to get to each and every question and then answer it accordingly. And especially if you have it, because I know a lot of your questions might be based on your goals and what you have going on. So that's definitely more so what I want to stick with in order to help you out. Because some of the things that I might cover might not necessarily be anything pertaining to your goal. And it might not have, you might not have a care in the world about the things that I talk about. But if you shoot me a question that's completely related to what you have going on, I will, in my best way, shape, or form, answer your question and then give you as much info and knowledge that I can. All right, so first things first, what I want to cover is two-a-days. All right, first of all, what is two-a-days, and what does it mean? What does it actually do to the body? Is it beneficial in the area of muscle gain, and is it beneficial in the area of fat loss? All right. So what you're gonna find is when people have both of those things as their goal. So you talk to um, individual A, he'll tell you, yeah, I want to lose weight. And you'll find that he might be doing two-a-days. He might go to the gym in the morning and he might also go in the nighttime. And then you'll have another individual who wants to build muscle and he feels that it's in his best interest to go 2 times a day. All right. That might, in his mind, might equate to building more muscle. So let's talk about the fat loss first. That's probably the more not important, but the more popular topic or popular one to go with. So if you're doing two-a-days and you're looking at burning fat, all right, yes, two-a-days will definitely help with burning fat. And the reason why I say that it'll help with burning fat is because what two-a-days ends up being is you work out 2 times a day. Usually with two-a-days, you want to spread out the time that you work out over the time frame from when you do your first workout to the time when you actually do the second workout. You want that time span to be spread out really long, or as long as you can get it before you actually go to sleep. Because what you're going to have happen in the time in between is you need to regain strength, you need to regain calories, you need to take in carbs, protein, fat, whatever need be, because you have another workout coming up that evening. Now, what you're going to find when you do two-a-days, yes, it'll help you to burn fat, but what you're going to notice, the area that you fall short in ends up being performance. All right. When it comes down to performance, you're going to find that if you're doing two-a-days, there's no way you're going to be able to perform at an optimum level. You're going to find that you might be a little tired. Maybe if it's not the morning workout, it'll end up being the night workout. Because if it's two-a-days, you work out in the night and within a few hours, you'll sleep, you'll wake up, and then you'll be back in the gym again. So over time, you're eventually going to feel, you're going to feel some fatigue from one of those workouts. All right. And what will happen over a period of time is you're going to see that your performance in the gym is going to slowly decrease. Now you have goals. You're trying to lose weight. You're trying to burn fat. You're trying to build muscle, whatever you have on the table. The fact that your performance is starting to drop down might not be the greatest thing at that moment. So what you're going to find works better in your favor is that if you were to do two-a-days and you want it to be applied to fat loss, it's better done if it's only done so many times a week. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many times that is because I don't want to be the guy that's wrong. All I would tell you to do is experiment with one time. So if you have 7 days in a week, you work out 5 times, right? Maybe Monday through Friday. Out of the Monday through Friday deal, in the beginning to start, if you want to start light, I would do 1 day of two-a-days. And for the rest of the week, go ahead and continue as normal. See what your results say at the end of the week. let's say the results are like, wow, amazing. This is exactly what we've been coming to the gym for. Then you might want to say to yourself, well, the results were really, really good when I decided to do two-a-days one time out of the 5 days I decided to work out. How would things play out if I actually decide to come in and do 2 days of two-a-days? And then I let you be the decider of when that actually happens. You might find that two-a-day, your two-a-days need to be done on Monday and maybe Wednesday, or Monday and Thursday. And that'll give you enough time in between to actually recover to some degree, and where it won't really affect your performance. Because you'll find that if you were to do two-a-days and follow it up by once a day, you might be able to regain the necessary strength and things like that to come back even stronger in the gym when you proceed with the next upcoming days. Um, Let me stop. In regards to the knowledge you know when it comes to the fitness, is there any advice you would have for a ballet dancer? No pressure. Love, Anna. I love your motivation. Renee B. So advice for a ballet dancer. So, I mean, it's a little off topic. I'm gonna go ahead and answer it just because I think it'll be good. Um, so as far as like the ballet dancer, what I like to do is, let's say you are a ballet dancer, or you are a football player, or you are a basketball player. What I would do for anybody that is coming to see me as their trainer, and that is what they do, you know what I'm saying, in their normal life, most of what I do in regards to training will be applied directly towards what you do. So you'll find that you're going to be doing exercises that's going to improve your ballet dancing. Okay, does that make sense? It's just like if you were to come in and be like, yo, look, CG, I'm a football player. I need for you to improve my speed, my power, my strength. That's exactly what we do. We'd go about handling everything in order to make that person a better football player. If you happen to be a ballet dancer, we go through all the necessary exercises in order to push you to become a better ballet dancer. As far as nutrition goes, you might be the better decider of what works for you all throughout the day, whether it be salads, high protein, or, you know what I'm saying, all those different things. So getting back to the original topic that we were on, talking about two-a-days and how it actually applies to fat loss. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It's a great thing. All right. I would have everybody do it as much as they possibly can without affecting their actual performance in the gym. So you got to be open to actually doing two-a-days, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times a week, only when and if your body builds up enough conditioning in order to take on that much exercise. That's 2 times a day. And you wake up the next morning and you do it again. All right. In the area of fat loss, you'll see a lot of success. It's a great thing to do the two-a-days. I would advise for you to actually see if you can focus on cardio in the morning and weights at night. Because usually what they find after they've done research and study is that if you were to lift weights later on in the evening, that usually leads to more muscle building opposed to lifting weights in the morning. If you lift weights in the morning, the reason why you don't always find yourself building the most muscle is you haven't had enough time or ability to take in enough calories to actually work for you in your favor and help you to build muscle in that session. Usually, what will happen at the very early part of the morning, if you decide to work out, whether it be cardio or weights, you're going to end up losing a good bit of fat, but not really giving your body the ability to build muscle. Because again, you haven't taken in enough calories. You haven't, I mean, you'll be woken up and stuff like that, but you're not under the conditions that the body requires in order for you to build muscle. All right. Usually that'll require a caloric surplus. It's very hard to hit a caloric surplus first thing in the morning. So if you happen to do two-a-days, if you ask my opinion, it's in your best interest to do cardio in the morning and then weights at night. Okay. And follow through with that as much as you possibly can. If you're a gung ho workout person and you want to do weights twice, you can do that too. I've done that before where I'll do chest in the morning and back at night. That's completely fine. It'll definitely work in your favor if you were looking to build muscle. So let's talk about the muscle building side. As far as fat goes, great tool to burn fat. I would prefer that you actually do it cardio in the morning, weights at night. Now let's talk about building muscle, because some of the guys out there are going to say to themselves, yo, listen, I'm thinking about building as much muscle as possible, and my brain is telling me that the more I work out, the more successful I will be at building muscle. It's not always the case, all right? I hear Anomaly talk about it all the time. Some of y'all familiar with Anomaly. You might follow him and you might not. I watch his channel a lot. During his channel, he likes to, I don't know if he's joking or not. I really don't know. I want to say that he's joking. All right, he keeps talking about how he wants to get jacked. for the gulag or something like that. He keeps talking about how he wants to lift weights. He gets kettlebells and he starts lifting in his streams. But I'm like, that's not how you work out. That's not how you grow. That's not gonna get you anywhere you're talking about being. All right. He also mentioned working out 7 days in a week. All right. He wants to build muscle. So I'm gonna connect this all. So when you're talking about building muscle, you're going to see the most success by giving your body enough time to rest. All right. The recovery time is everything. A lot of people that first step into the gym, they fail to realize that the point in time where your body's going to see the most growth and be successful in the area of muscle development is only if you allow your body enough calories, enough rest, and the proper workouts in order to make the magic happen. It's a three-way deal. All right. Anomaly speaks on it, and he mentions that he's going to work out 7 days a week, which is not allowing his body enough time to rest. And he also gets on cam and he starts working out, and he's working out. But when you think about working out, it's something that you don't really play around with. Like, my workouts are real serious. They're real serious. You don't just get out and like start curling weights and doing jumping jacks. You don't do that because your body is already in a repair state. All right. The moment you walk out the gym, let's rewind. When you're in the gym, I need you to understand that what you do is something called breaking down muscle. Okay. The technical scientific term is called hypertrophy. It's what a lot of guys seek out in order to achieve a bigger size. All right. Technical term is hypertrophy. The way that I'm gonna give it to you in a more simpler fashion is that we're breaking the muscles down. Okay. The muscles overlap just like this. The more you work out, the more microfiber tears you have within those muscles. So the muscles will actually tear down. The only way you're going to successfully grow is if you actually rest. Okay. During your resting period is when your muscles actually repair, recover, come back bigger and stronger. So anybody that tells you that they're going to work out 7 days a week, it's not going to work. Or if they're going to do biceps every day, it's not going to work. Okay. So tying it into 2 a-days. If you work out too much, you're going to find that you will not successfully be able to build muscle like you think. Of course, when it comes down to burning fat, you might see and find that the more you do, the more fat you burn. That's cool. That could sometimes be the case. But when it comes down to building muscle, it's very different. All right. You got to be real particular about your sessions. When you decide to build muscle, when you go in the gym and stuff like that, it's very, very important that you're strategic with how long you work out, how much you work out, how much volume is contained, how many sets, how many reps, how much weight. All of that is factors that you want to consider when it comes down to building muscle. Now let's bring it all into one. We talked about 2 a-days. If I get in the gym and I start working on building muscle in the morning, and then I also turn around and try and build muscle in the nighttime, there's two things about that. One, it does not work in your favor. If you want to hit biceps in the morning and hit biceps at night, thinking that your biceps are going to get bigger because you worked them twice. I just gave y'all an example. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to hit chest in the morning and you want to hit back at night. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes down to you building muscle, you will be more successful if you decide to do it once a day. Okay. We're talking about directly gearing it towards building muscle. If you want to burn muscle and fat, then 2 a-days would be great. Cardio in the morning, weights at night. If you're talking about just building muscle, getting in there, doing biceps in the morning, biceps at night, not going to work. Okay. The only way you'll be successful with it, and you still won't ever really work with your most optimal performance, is if you actually do opposing body parts. Opposing body parts means the opposites. All right. So you're going to hit chest in the morning and you'll hit back at night. That is a push. And then at the end of the night, you'll do a pull. All right. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to 2 a-days, if you want to burn fat, it's great. All right. Go ahead and utilize it as much as you can. But what you're going to find where you'll be the most successful is if you actually start out doing it once in your week of workouts and slowly apply 2, 3, and maybe 4 days, as long as your body can keep up with the amount of work that's being given. All right. You'll be good. That's a promise. When it comes down to weights, I would prefer that you would actually go out and do opposing muscles, do chest in the morning, back at night. You will be somewhat successful in the area of building muscle. But if you try to hit biceps twice, that's not going to work. All right. So that's how we want to sum up the 2 a-days, looking at 2 a-days. It's definitely a tool that you can apply, but only if your body has been conditioned and ready for that. All right, done on 2 days. Looked like it took me 15 minutes exactly. All right, so next one. I think it's the supplement question. All right, so should you use supplements? If yes, when? All right, and we'll fly through this real fast. I don't think it requires much. So when it comes down to supplements, this is what I tell all my clients. What you need to do in the very beginning is you need to start off your weight loss journey or your muscle building journey. You need to start that with no supplements. You need to see and learn how your body works and operates without supplements. Supplements are basically like an aid, okay? It is to give you some help when times get rough, all right? We all have been in situations where we say to ourselves, when you get this technical, if you're not there yet, you're going to say to yourself, yo, listen, I need 20 grams of protein no matter what. I need 20 grams of protein every meal that I have. When I sit down, that is definitely what I would have to hit in order for me to successfully hit my goals, for me to see the best performance in the gym. And what you're going to find is you're going to pull up to that restaurant. They're going to give you the portion that they usually give, and it's not 20 grams of protein. This is the area where you're going to need those supplements, all right? Because you were counting on finishing the day with over 100 grams of protein, or maybe a gram of protein for every pound of body weight that you have. If that be the case, then what's going to happen is the restaurant's going to sell you short on your protein. You need to turn around and make your way home and supply your body with whatever is necessary in order to fill in that gap of the protein that's needed. Okay, so let's say you're short 10 grams of protein. There's protein shakes out there that you can easily drop into some water so you're not being affected by any more calories outside of what's in the powder. Water is what I prefer. It'll keep your caloric amounts more precise. When you start dipping milk and things like that in there, it gets to a point where it could somewhat be complicated to figure out why or if it's working for you. So I deal with protein shakes better with water. All right. What'll end up happening is you'll go ahead and you'll get your protein shake, scoop it in, stir it up, drink it down, whoop de whoop. All right, you good. That'll be the extra that you needed in order to make up for whatever was missing during the restaurant when you went, because they usually won't give you everything that you really, really want. You know what I mean? So that'll be the case in time where you might find yourself seeking out supplements because you're going to use it as an aid, something to fill in a gap wherever you fall short. All right, not enough protein, go and fill it in. Let's say you're not feeling all that much energetic, then there is an ability to supply yourself or supplement some type of caffeinated beverage. All right, it could be coffee if you really like coffee. If you go in like that, I particularly don't. You can slide me a Red Bull, I'll be cool. You can slide me one of the actual caffeinated powdered beverages that's actually on the market. That's more so what I prefer when you talk about the areas of strength. Those things blow Red Bulls out the water. Right? When you talk about not being able to sleep, some of them powdered pre-workouts that you could actually take is definitely going to have you lit when it comes down to like where those Red Bulls actually get you. So when it comes down to supplements, my preference, my advice to all my clients that brand new coming in, I would say do not do anything with them until you find that there is a need for it. Need, not a want. All right. Don't get into a situation where you be like, man, I want bigger arms, so let me go and get creatine. I want bigger arms. No, 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 no. The best way to see it is go with what you need. Okay. You find that after 6 months of training your arms every single day, they just not getting bigger than where you normally see them get to. Supplement. Go ahead and see if that supplement can get you to that next level, because of whatever you're doing at the moment doesn't seem to be working all the way to the degree that you want it to. So go ahead and see if a supplement might help add and build onto whatever you have going on, whatever your foundation actually is. So that's the time and place when I see supplements will be necessary. It's that situation. All right. As far as a lot of the other situations, people feel like, yo, I'm just getting back into the gym. I'm brand new. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my supplements. I'm going to get my protein. I'm going to get my creatine. I'm going to get my pre-workout. They have all this stuff already in line that they want to go ahead and put into their body, but they haven't seen how their body actually performs without it. I'm telling you, you'll be very curious to know, how does my body perform without this stuff? What type of results do I actually end up seeing? And then you would want to actually know, how does your body perform with? And when you know the both ends, you get to decide when is the best time to use it. Okay, so that's how I would break down supplements. When you're looking at, okay, when we're thinking about supplements, when to take them, how often, things like that, that's something to really consider. All right. Next thing, let me see if I answered all the supplement stuff. Should you use supplements? If yes, when? Yeah, I gave all of that. Workout of the week, fat loss and muscle. So I can't actually get out and do any workouts right here, right now. I actually planned on doing it. I was going to actually push my camera aside and give you some demonstrations or some things that you could do actually in the house. Um, I'm not gonna do that today because I got wifey's about to come with the kids and they're gonna turn up and get all this noise going. So I want to go ahead and sum this up, finish it up as fast as I can. Tomorrow I will try to put that into effect. Not only would I put that into effect, I also have a cooking segment that I want to bring into effect. I'm gonna be making this bomb ass salad that y'all got to check out. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna do it on cam. I'm gonna do it live so y'all see CG goes in the kitchen. When it comes down to getting and seeing good results, you will be more successful if you actually cook your food. All right, I'm just telling you. I've done it, and I found that ends up being where and when I see the most success is actually cooking the meals. And that's the same advice that I give all my clients that come my way. If you're looking to make any improvements or change to your body, it's better done with your home cooked foods that you know all the ingredients, all the calories, all of what's contained. You have an idea of what's inside, opposed to you ordering those greasy ass things from some of these restaurants. And when you eat it, you anticipate only bringing in 20 grams of fat, but what you ate happened to have 40. And at the end of the day, that's not what you were counting on. So you break off with some bad results. That's not the way that you want things to unfold. So my advice is to cook as much as you can, where you can monitor exactly what's contained in your meals, whether it be extra sugar, extra salt. Those will be the things that you actually know, instead of another cook doing it for you and misleading you, and you wondering why your results aren't ending up the way that you wanted to. And it could be because some of those meals are misleading. You will also find that some of the meals you might sit down to in a restaurant might not equate to the amount of calories that are actually seen on Google. You might type in a cup of rice, right? Cup of white rice. They even get specific where you could do cup of white rice from PF Chang's, for example, but you'll still see that it's really based on that cook. Trust me, that PF Chang's cook probably looks around and says, look, I got this secret, bro. You put a little more butter in there, and then boom, whatever results you see on Google related to PF Chang's for a cup of white rice might be a little off compared to what you're actually getting in front of your face on the plate. So that is something to really, really consider. I would advise cooking your food as much as you possibly can, just so you know all what's contained. All right. Um, Supplement of the week. I'm gonna finish this up with the supplement of the week, and then we'll be done. All right. From here on out, I'm looking to do a longer show. Like I said, I would have actually been breaking out yoga mats and stuff like that, doing exercises with you. So I think my actual fitness show might play out for like an hour's time or maybe 45 minutes. But I'm really trying to fill y'all in. I'm also going to do some real different stuff where I'm actually going to talk about like vitamin. I'm going to have a vitamin of the day. We'll probably talk about like vitamin E, for example. We'll talk about where you could find vitamin E. We'll talk about the importance of it. We'll talk about where to find it as far as supplementing, and also where to find it in your foods. So things like that, just to get you on track if you are out there trying to get your, you know what I'm saying, trying to get your feet wet with the nutrition and the fitness and stuff like that. I think all of this will definitely help you out a lot. Just considering my experience as a personal trainer, and what has helped my clients has been things like what I just mentioned. So I'll see how much I could tie in to these streams and make it as informative as possible, so everybody that watches it on a regular basis will successfully see um, the results that they're looking for. As far as man, that text kind of threw me off. As far as the cooking segment, I'm gonna try to deliver that cooking segment ever so often. Because I think it's very, very important. Again, I want to always show people how easy it is to actually cook food. Okay, it's very, very easy. Once you find how easy it is, not only does it hit the pocket in a great way, but it also hits your stomach. I know a lot of people, everybody's a little different. But I know for me, particularly, very finicky stomach when it comes down to it. If I go out to different restaurants, this, that, and the third, it never goes down the same way that my home cooked meals go down. I just saying that's usually the case all the time. Um, but that's it. Supplement of the week. I'm gonna definitely say I'm gonna go with protein shake. All right. When I say supplement of the week, that basically means what supplement do I actually advise, what I would have people go for if you were my client. I would say, hey, protein shake is the way to go. If you're asking about which one, I'll tell you the one I drink. I drink Syntha-6. It's called Syntha-6, exactly like that. Syntha 6. If you put it in Google, type in images, you're gonna see a red bottle pop up. That red bottle, the reason why I favor Syntha-6 more than a lot of other protein shakes is because Syntha-6 contains fiber. A lot of times when you drink protein shakes, you'll find that they don't contain fiber. So when they're consumed, they tend to sit inside your stomach almost like a brick, and it doesn't really find its way out for days at a time. So a lot of people have complained that protein shakes have actually constipated them instead of having a normal flow like some of the others do. Now, the one I happen to stumble on, which is Syntha-6, just like I mentioned, it has fiber. It contains enough fiber to the point where I've never ran into the issue of that constipation effect happening, which has happened to me with 90% of the shakes that I've consumed prior to this particular one that I'm using now. I have been using it for almost 10 years now. Ever so often, I'll dibble and dabble in different protein shakes. I never really buy them. You know what I mean? What ends up happening is if you go out to your GNC and things like that, they end up giving you samples. And that's where and when I might find myself trying out different protein shakes. And certain things will sit well with me, certain things don't. For example, my protein shake, not only does it go down good and also contain the fiber that I look for, but it also tastes really, really good at the end of the day. When you look at some of these other shakes, they'll hit you with a lot of red flags. It may not go down well. It may not taste good. It may not break up good. And what I mean by breaking up good, I'll explain that probably in an actual video that you could actually see what I'm talking about. Because when you buy a protein shake, just so y'all know, I'll go ahead and drop this quick bomb on you. When you buy a protein shake, the way that you know if your protein shake is actually good slash fresh is how it actually dissolves inside the water. So when you so my protein shake, for example, I'll put in like 4 to 6 ounces of water. I think the directions even say 4 to 6 ounces. I take the scoop, I put it in, I'll stir it up, and like magic, it'll all dissolve, or most of it'll dissolve. Now, when it's not a good protein shake, either it's not good or it might be a little older. Maybe it's been sitting on that shelf for a little while. You'll find that if you were to take out 4 to 6 ounces of water, take the same scoop of protein shake, drop it into the water, stir, 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 you get those clumps. Those clumps usually tie into protein shakes that, one, they either are not fresh or the company just doesn't know the right ingredients in order to make it dissolve the way that it should. Ideally, you want to drop your protein shake in anywhere between 4 to 6 ounces of water and see all of it completely dissolve. And you should not be dealing with those clumps at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Little clumps at the bottom and stuff like that that you be digging out and then you be eating it and it tastes weird because the top is like has the moisture and then you bite into it, but you get the little clump. It's just a mess. It's a mess that you don't really want to ever deal with. So the protein shake that I buy, Syntha-6, that is never the case. It always dissolves really, really well. Over 4 to 6 ounces of water, you'll take a scoop that's massively big and it'll all dissolve and disappear. Whereas a lot of other protein shakes or some others out there on the market, you'll take the same scoop, drop it in the same quantity of water, and you'll find that after stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring, drop that joint in the shaker, you shake, 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 you still can't get the clumps to go away. That's usually tying into the two things I just mentioned. Either it's not fresh or it's just not the brand you might be wanting to work with. They're probably on the lower end of, product sales and things like that. They're not working with the right ingredients. So that's kind of how I would tie in the supplement of the week. It'll be protein shakes. Do I favor them? Yeah, I'm all in on those. What I'm also have is I'm gonna give you a supplement of the week. For example, I'll give you fat burner. I'll drop a bomb on fat burners real fast because these tend to get really out of whack. All right, so fat burners, right? A lot of people like to favor fat burners. So today it'd be 2 supplements of the week. Fat burners, I do not prefer or go for fat burners? And if you're asking me why, let me break it down to you. So when it comes down to fat burners, right? A lot of times, well, a lot of times, 99.9999% of the time, whenever somebody tells you to take a fat burner, they usually tie two things in. They tie in diet and they tie in exercise. So you start looking around and you start asking yourself, well, how much of an effect is the fat burner having on me if you just told me to do diet and exercise? If I want to lose weight, diet and exercise usually equates to fat loss, right? Or weight loss, either one of the two. Diet and exercise usually equates to that. So to tell somebody to take a fat burner and also diet and exercise, it's going to give them the same result. This is where it gets tricky. This is where you pin them. The fat burner, if it fat burner really worked, and I'm gonna get into your question, Dorothy Perez. If a fat burner really worked, it should work if you were to eat whatever you want. You should be able to eat whatever you want. So I could eat, you know what I'm saying, cookies, cupcakes, donuts. Don't do no exercise. Don't follow no crazy diet. I should be able to pop a fat burner and burn fat. But that's never the case. It's never the case. You're never going to see the fat burner work. It's just not the way that it plays out. When they put that fat burner in your hand, they literally tell you, you take this and you need to do a strict diet. Most of them will give you the diet because they don't want to see the fat burner fail. They're going to give you a diet because they're making so much money on the fat burner. They're going to give you a diet and give you a bunch of exercises. And they'll give you enough to have you ride it out for like 30 or 60 days, whatever the trial is. You know, they'll give you a little trial like, yo, we guarantee results for the next 30 to 60 days. Well, they'll give you enough workouts and enough food regimens to go off of for the next 30 to 60 days. So when you actually gain the benefit from your diet and exercise, you're led to believe that it came from the fat burner, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, those things don't work. If they worked, you should be able to eat whatever you want, not exercise, pop them, and they still be effective. They will not be effective. The only time they become effective is if you introduce diet and exercise. But if you introduce diet and exercise, those are the two things you need to burn fat and lose weight anyway. Now you probably say, well, is it faster? Is it going to be a faster rate? Well, there is a healthy amount of weight that you want to lose per week, right? The fat burners don't really tie into more loss. I never really seen a fat burner tie into like, oh, I had my man take in or do exercise, just diet and exercise, and he would lose 2 pounds a week, and then he pops the fat burner and he starts losing 7 pounds a week. Never been the case. Never, ever been the case. Where somebody has a routine regimen playing out, they're successfully losing 2 pounds every single week, and someone introduces them to a fat burner, and now they're magically losing 4, 5, and 6 pounds. They might think that's the case because they might start to incorporate the instructions that the fat burner put on it, which is to do diet and exercise. They might do more diet, more exercise. So they think that the more results that they're seeing is part of that fat burner, but it's just the fact that they may be possibly doing some extra work that fat burner instructed them to tie in to their normal regimen. All right, does that make sense? So when I have a supplement of the week, you'll see that I might call something that I really favor, which is the protein shakes on today's lesson, a session. And then I have fat burners that I do not favor at all because I cannot find the proof and evidence that they actually work. It should be the proof should be in the pudding. If I do not diet, do not exercise, they should work. The fact that they don't work under those conditions leads me to believe that it's not that effective. The only time it becomes effective is when you introduce diet and exercise. But when you introduce diet and exercise, it's going to happen anyway. Y'all following me? It's one of those misleading things. As crazy as it sounds, you'll be, you know what I'm saying? If y'all are new to it, you'll be surprised. But the supplement world, the way that it works, it is very similar to politics. And what ends up happening is when you have somebody like myself giving you truth, dropping the truth bombs, I'm not selling you nothing. They don't like it. They don't like it. Somebody delivering the truth, like what I'm telling you right now, is very similar to like Trump getting out and delivering the truth. And there's a lot of people making money on fat burners. They don't like what I'm telling you right now because they want you to feel and believe that when they drop that exercise program on you and the eating regimen along with their fat burner for $39.99 that they say take 2 and 3 of, and that 2 and 3 is only for you to waste the amount that, you know what I'm saying? They have you go through them products real fast. So you immediately come back and buy more. Okay. You'll find that you'll see that these little lessons that I drop on you, especially things pertaining to like supplements and how they work, it ties almost directly to politics. And you're going to see that somebody's spreading truth. Like what I'm telling you right here, they don't like it. They don't like it. And you'll see there's channels that I know in the fitness industry, they get a lot of dislikes, they get a lot of hate because they actually tell the truth about a lot of things that are going on in the fitness industry. All right, we'll get all into fat burners, we'll get all into like pre-workouts, we'll get into creatine, we'll dive deeper into protein shakes, we'll get up into testosterone boosters, we'll get into all of that different stuff that people tend to lean on thinking that it's going to have a positive, great effect on their goals and what they're trying to do, but it ends up either having no effect or a negative effect. Okay. I won't even pin the fat burners as having a negative effect. It usually has the effect of the caffeine. You're going to find most fat burners usually have caffeine tied in the mix. And once that caffeine is tied in, caffeine is one of the ingredients that you can actually include in your supplements to help with fat loss. Okay, something that I read up on is when the body sees and identifies caffeine in the system, it tends to turn off the body's ability to burn carbohydrates. Okay, which could be a plus. If you were to go into the gym, let's say you're low on carbs, but you consume a caffeinated beverage with the caffeine present, the body most likely will rely on the caffeine and utilize that as its source of energy in order to burn the calories throughout that workout. Okay, so that's part of why you might see that most fat burners contain caffeine. It does have some type of an effect on weight loss and fat loss and stuff like that, but they can't really say that it solely comes from the fat burner itself. It's usually going to be the fat burner, caffeine, good eating regimen, and a good exercise regimen. All right, that combination usually equates to what most people want to see, but most people rely on the fact that it wasn't the exercise, it wasn't the eating, it was this pill that I took, and the pill says it burns fat, so that's what they're left to believe. Dorothy Perez, if you're still rocking with me, she wants to know, what about B12 patches? Wait, before I get into that, let me see. So Anna Rodriguez, I went ahead and answered hers. Renee B says, hey, Anna. Says, okay, thank you. I'm a nurse and I walk all day long, but don't work out. I should be ashamed. I need a trainer to kick my ass. Renee B, yeah. Nurses that walk all day and stuff like that. I did a video. If you want to go in and watch my video, I'm not saying that you're doing this, but I did a video on people, not saying this is you, but I'm just saying in general. I did a video on people who categorize what they do at work as their form of physical activity. I'm not saying this is you. I'm just saying in general, people, I'm going to be with you in a second, Dorothy. I see you here. People tend to they get into a physical job. You know, they might lift things, box from point A to point B all day. And they usually rely on that as their form of physical activity. And I did a video on that, on the importance of it and why that could be looked at in the beginning as an okay thing. But over a period of time, when your body adapts to you actually performing the same walk-in or the same work that you do at your 9 to 5, you'll find that in order for you to successfully continue seeing results, the only way that's going to happen is if you were to bump up your intensity. So for anybody out there that tries to take their 9 to 5 and say, well, I do enough at my 9 to 5, I don't really have much to really worry about, you're going to find that you're going to hit a plateau, and the plateau is going to require you to do a little bit more work. All right. So if you're moving boxes from point A to point B and the boxes only get up to 20 pounds, you might want to knock on your boss's door and be like, hey, can you get my boxes a little heavier? Because I won't hit my fitness goals if it's not challenging my body. I can't keep lifting the same weight over and over and over and over every day. It's just not going to work. All right, your body will adapt to it. You'll hit a plateau, and you will no longer see those great results that you were seeing the first time around. You introduced that form of physical activity to your body. Let me get over to Dorothy real fast, and let me see if I can help her out. Um, Renee says someone needs to know their pre-existing conditions before considering supplements and amount of protein. Yes, very true, Renee. I would always advise everybody to get out there and see your doctor and see what they have to say about you working out. Now, be mindful of some of the doctors, which I've come across. Some of the doctors don't work out themselves. So I've ran into doctors' offices and actually said, "Hey, look, I was on my leg extension machine doing hip thrusts," and sometimes the doctor doesn't know what I'm talking about. He doesn't understand the terminology. He doesn't know about the exercises. He may not work out himself. All right. Just be mindful of those doctors. They might instruct you to do some stuff that, like, you know, it might be something that you do on a day to day. For example, let me give you a quick one. And then Dorothy, I'm coming. Let me give you a quick one. I had a client come into me, and the client said, my doctor advised me to not do any squats. I said, okay, based on a previous condition, previous injury, something that the person went through, the doctor advised them to not do any squats. Okay, cool. I said, all right, well, let me think that over real fast. I said, how many times a day do you like get up or sit down in a chair? Get up and sit down in a chair. And they'll say something like, yo, JG, I see you. They'll say, I get up and sit down like 5, 6 times a day throughout the day. And I'll say, well, how much pain do you feel during those times of sitting down and getting up? Because the information that they've been given from their doctor is that they're not to do squats, because squats will affect their knees or their hips or whatever that problem area is. It's not something to be done at all. Just take it out of the equation. Now, for me in a personal training world, squats are one of the golden exercises you want to be doing if you're trying to build muscle or lose fat. So this person, I asked him, I say, how many times a day do you get up and sit down while doing, how many times do you get up and sit down a day? And if you do that, how many times a day is it happening? And if it's done 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day, do you feel any pain while it's done? Do you feel any pain? I remember this particular individual, he said no. I said, okay, so and I got to back this up so y'all see exactly what I have going on. So I'm telling them like this. I'm like, all right, so look, your doctor told you, and this is what I'm telling y'all about some of these doctors out there. I'm not a doctor. He probably got more credentials than me, whatever. I'm just telling you, you'll run up on some of them and they just don't know what's going on or don't know what they're talking about. So I told this individual, I said, so you get up and sit down on a day-to-day basis and you notice you never feel any pain in your knees, your hips, wherever that problem area is, they never feel it. I said, do you understand every time you sit down and get up, that's a squat? Your doctor told you can't squat though, but mind you, every time you sit down and stand up, you're squatting, right? Now, what your doctor could have been more specific about is your range of motion, all right? So what I would say or advise for that person to be mindful of is your range of motion. Range of motion means from beginning of exercise to the end of exercise, how far do you actually go? Okay, what's your range of motion? I would advise that person, because we just covered it. I said, so listen, you telling me you sit down and stand up every day, you don't feel any pain in any of those problem areas, you should clearly be able to hit 3 sets of squats, but make sure your range of motion only comes down to that point where you don't feel any pain. If you find that you go further or below that point and, you need to get back up because you felt a little twinge in your knee, you now know where your range of motion needs to start and end, because you have a point that you can start and end, still gain the benefits of an actual squat. Yeah, you don't go as deep. So yeah, you don't gain those benefits to the fullest degree, but you do reap the benefits of the actual exercise, because it is a golden exercise. It utilizes multiple muscle groups. It works calves, it works hamstrings, it works glutes, it works quadriceps. And if you're looking to lose weight, by you utilizing the most muscles in your legs is going to help with that process. Okay. So that's something that I wanted to point out with the doctors. Sometimes the doctors will tell you A, B, and C, but if you run into the right personal trainer or the right person that's fully informed about fitness and things like that, he can kind of bring things to light that you may not have been able to see. It's right in front of your face. Like I said, That person was doing squats all day, but that doctor told them, you are not to do any squats at all. And I proved it to them that they squat every day. They just don't know, and they just need to focus on the range of motion instead of eliminating the exercise entirely. That's not where you're going to gain benefit, okay? Um, so Dorothy Perez, and then I'm going to get into your question, JG. Dorothy Perez says, what about B12 patches? So I think I had this question, I think even on this channel. B12 patches. So B12 patches have, I had clients that have worked with B12 patches. If you're not familiar, B12 is usually tied into energy. You're going to find B6, B12, they usually together. You're also going to find they'll tie in with caffeine, and you'll see all three usually contained in your pre-workouts, in your Red Bulls, in any of your caffeinated beverages. You're usually going to find B6 and B12 contained within. Those are very important vitamins when it comes down to you building and producing energy in the body, okay? So if you find that supplementing your body with a B12 patch helps you to have more energy, keep doing it. Okay. If you find that it's not harmful, if you say, yeah, man, this is B12, the doctor said it's okay for me to use. After the doctor said it's okay for me to use, I went ahead and used it. And I noticed that I had a lot more energy than what I usually have in the gym. I've gone to the gym for the last 6 weeks, and I've always had so much energy. But the moment I used the B12 patch, I noticed an extreme amount of energy, far past what I normally see. Then yeah, feel free to go ahead and continue using it. Now, you might come across certain individuals that might be given a B12 patch and they might not see or feel the same effects. Okay, they might not feel the same effects. They might say to themselves, hey, that energy kick that you had, I didn't really see it. For whatever reason, everybody's body works a little different. And if your body happens to be one of those that doesn't all the way agree with caffeine, B6, B12, some of those vitamins that are important and critical when it comes down to producing energy in the body, if your body doesn't respond to it, it doesn't respond to it. My wife is actually one of them, where my wife can drink a Red Bull. I'm not kidding. She'll lay right hand, go to sleep. I'm talking like 2 minutes. I'm like, where's the caffeine? Why doesn't it work? I've also given my wife the actual pre-workout. So I even mentioned a little earlier in the stream that those happen to be, in my opinion, a lot stronger than your Red Bulls. I think mainly for the simple fact that, let's just put it on the table. When you drink the Red Bull, the amount of caffeine is already, it's already in there. You can't alter that at all. So you drink whatever you got. Most of the time in the little scoops, you know what I'm saying? You be looking around like, damn, well, I ain't really feeling all that energetic. Let me go ahead and get another scoop. Boom. You drop one in, then you just do a little extra half or something like that. So you might find that those end up being or feeling a lot stronger because you can alter how much caffeine you actually take in. So to Dorothy Perez, the question about the B12 patches, if they work for you, then stick with them. I think the kids are coming in. All right, here we go. JG says, is it best to drop weight first and then build muscle, or build muscle while you drop weight? Very good question. Andrea R, please repeat. I missed it. How many mg? It does have problems sleeping. I only get 3 hours of sleep. Hold on, somebody knocking at my door. Oh, come in. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video. What you got? Hey. Got beads. Mardi Gras beads. All right, let me finish up this question. I'm going to finish up this question for Jericho. Hey. Got the Skittles on deck. Yo. All right, so let me finish up this question real fast. And then we'll probably tap out. I think this is a good one because, and then actually I'll do Andrea's question too. How many mg? That's me. B12 coffee don't really hit me like that. What's up, bro? All right. Dorothy said, hey, Jericho. Yo, so this is for Jericho. Let me go ahead and read the question over one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer it. It says, is it best to drop weight first and then build muscle, or build muscle while you drop weight? All right. So you're gonna want to go with the second option. You're gonna want to build muscle while you drop weight. Okay. And I say that because you could spread them out. You could do one individually, but what you're gonna find that you'll be more successful if you were to bunch them in together, and you'll basically be able to kill two birds with one stone at the end of the day. You can do them separately. All right. My wife likes to do them, or I guess the way that her schedule worked out, she has done it separately, where she has gone in, she's done like her cardio and stuff like that. Hold on, let me close this door. I think she's on the phone. All right, so she'll do it individually. She'll end up doing it where she'll actually she'll lose weight, and then over a period of time, she'll basically look to build muscle. She'll come in the gym with me, she'll hit the weights or whatever, whoop de whoop, and then she'll do it like that. That's what really makes her happy, because for her, the weight is a big thing. And what you're gonna notice is when you're actually dropping weight and building muscle, you're gonna find that, oh, let's take that back. When you're dropping body fat and building muscle, you're gonna find your weight is gonna do a lot of this type of action. Like it's gonna do a lot of flatline action. It doesn't really shift in any particular way very quickly. That'll happen over time. But in the beginning, what you're gonna notice is because you have a combination of you building muscle and dropping body fat, the amount of body fat you drop, usually when it comes down to it, it only ends up being just a pound or two. Sometimes you could even flatline and not really break out to any weight loss. But if you look in the area of body fat, you usually should see body fat loss. Okay. So my advice, any clients coming into me, I always have them do them both at the same time. You want to do your cardio and you want to do your weights at the same time, and you'll find that that'll equate to you having a tight, firm, strong physique. And on top of that, you build stamina, endurance. If you're doing the right type of cardio, you'll end up building agility and things like that. Kai, can you close the door? Ian, can you close the door? Ian, can you close the door? And yo, you gotta let me turn the music down. You're gonna give me a strain. Cool. All right. So yeah. So at the end of the day, what it ends up breaking out to is just that itself. If you're looking to lose weight, and this is for JG, anybody else out there, I'm sure a lot of y'all have a very similar question. It had to have run across your mind at some point in time. But if you were asking for my advice based on what I've seen in my 15 years experience as a personal trainer, you're going to find that not only will you be more successful combining your cardio and your weights, but you're going to end up as a better individual overall, because you're going to find that you're going to have these points where you're just not going to be happy for whatever reason. If you were just doing cardio, you're going to touch at your muscles and you're going to be like, oh man, they all like pudgy and they're not really tight and firm like that. And that's because you're not incorporating the weights. Okay. So you're going to find that, yeah, the little flabby muscles and things like that is definitely something that may occur if you only focus on losing weight. Usually you're going to put more of your work and effort into the area of cardiovascular activity. That usually equates to you dropping the weight and weight only. If you're looking to build muscle, that's better done if you actually get into the gym, lift weights, and you want to break those things up. If you want to have it done in segments where you break it up into individual days, that's fine too. So you can have it set up where you say, like, on Monday, I'm going to do 30 minutes of cardio, and on Tuesday, I'm going to do weights. Wednesday, I'll do cardio. The next day, it'll be weights. Kai, close the door. Close it. So that's more so the direction that I would advise anybody to go to if you were looking to make a change in the area of weight, particularly weight loss. Do not neglect the weights, combine both. You're going to end up with a much better physique. You're going to end up with a much stronger physique. And you also give your body the ability to burn calories through a different form of exercise. Okay, you're only going to burn so many calories if you get in there and you continuously do cardio. And before I go any further, and I'm going to just finish this up and then I'm going to end. Hopefully, JG, you still rocking with me. This is definitely a piece of information that you're going to want to hear. It requires somewhat of an explanation. So I got people in the building. Let's get it. Let's break down the difference between cardio and weights. Okay, I gave you my explanation of what I would advise, but let's really break it down into a finer detail, the difference between cardio and weights. Cardio, there is a form of cardiovascular activity that could actually work for you for a prolonged period of time. It's something called an afterburner effect. The afterburner effect is when you actually hit something called EPOC. EPOC is excessive pulmonary oxygen consumption. What that ends up being is if you were to go out and I say, yo, I need you to sprint like there's no tomorrow and do not stop. Just do not stop. When that person gets to that point where they have actually stopped, they probably hit what is called EPOC, okay? When they're at that point, they are gasping for air, okay? They are really, really gasping for air. They're looking for anything that they can to recover from the state that they're actually in. When you work your body, when you're doing cardiovascular activity, you work your body up to that point, that is what will trigger something called a afterburner effect. You can look this up right in Google, just type in afterburner effect and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So for 24 and up to 48 hours at a time, you can actually continuously burn fat. You can continuously burn fat if you were to do that, okay? Now, the only way it will have that type of an effect is if you activate what I just mentioned. That means you really got to push, push, push very hard, okay? Now, let's talk about weights. Weights works in a similar fashion, all right? And what I mean by that is we're looking for what type of physical activity is actually going to help us to burn calories for a prolonged period of time. We don't want to just burn calories while we're at the gym. We want to burn calories while we're at home, kicking it with the kids, watching TV, this, that, and the third. We want to make sure 24/7, 7 days a week, we're burning calories all the time. In order to make that happen, it is better done if we break down muscle. When you activate what is called hypertrophy, it is actually the breakdown of muscle fibers, which I described a little earlier in the video. And what ends up happening is when you actually break down these muscle fibers, it'll require 48 and up to 72 hours for you to actually repair and recover. This is the most important thing. During the repairing process, that is when you will burn calories. Okay? I know it probably went over some people's heads. Let me give it to you more in detail. I get in the gym. Check this out. I hit biceps, boom, 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 boom. I want you to keep in mind that the muscles overlap just like this. Underneath the skin, the muscles overlap just like this. The more I lift, so I'm straining, I'm struggling, I'm like, argh. So underneath the skin, you're gonna have microfiber tears that occur within those muscles. When those microfiber tears occur, the only way for you to actually repair them is gonna be with the necessary calories and enough rest, okay? So it is very important that you supply your body with all the necessary calories and all of the necessary rest in order to make the magic actually take place. Okay. Damn, I kind of lost. It's a good damn evening, Americans. I'm gonna finish it up. Let me see what's going on in the chat, so I don't go too far. Seem short. How tall are you? Hey man, you seem short. How tall are you? Draper Scott. I'm 5'8". 5'8". You know what it is. I think a lot of people probably got me, but I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? That's the one thing you have no control over. So tapping back into it, when you actually get in the gym, right? You actually get in there, you break down those muscle fibers. It'll usually take anywhere between 48 to 72 hours in order for you to repair the muscles. If you're burning calories while you're repairing muscles, that would mean that if it takes 72 hours to repair your muscles, then you'll be burning calories for 72 hours. How does the calorie burning process actually take place? Let me describe it to you. Give it to you in the most detail that I can. So I get in the gym. Remember, I'm lifting. The more I strain and struggle, not saying any, you should really be straining and struggling like that. The strain and struggle should only be done for at least 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. If you start going 4, 5, and 6, you start risking injury. Just put the weight down. But if you get into a position where you are at this point, what you're going to find that if you are pushing to this degree, you will have a lot of microfiber tears occur within those muscles. It will take you a good minute in order for you to repair all that muscle back. If you do it in the next 48 to 72 hours by supplementing your body with the necessary calories, every time you eat a meal, every single time, as long as you don't spill into a caloric amount that is excessive. If it's excessive, your body most likely will do what it has to do. It's going to store fat. But if you take in more of the amount of calories that your body is seeking out in order to continuously make the magic happen, then that'll definitely happen. Okay. You only need to take in only so many calories, and then the repairing process will actually take place. So you're sitting in the crib, pressing away at the remote, checking on your videos, this, that, and the third. And as you drink your protein shakes, as long as you have broken down muscle, you will continuously repair. As you repair, that is where and when you will burn fat. Okay. The calories that are consumed, they go in and they go straight to muscle repair. That's the job. So you just thought, damn, I just brought in like 300 calories on my protein shake. What's going to happen to that? Well, if you just worked out a few hours ago, what's going to happen to that is the calories from that protein shake is going straight to repair. When it goes to repair, that 300 calories that you just consumed most likely will be put all towards repair. So the chances of you storing any fat from that protein shake is minimal to none, because most of the calories that it contained, it all went to muscle repair. It won't repair it in just that one eating session. It'll also be repairing itself when you consume the salad. Following up with that, you consume your grilled chicken, whatever else need be. And as you continuously consume calories, you will successfully burn calories, burn fat, and actually lose weight, as long as you don't take in an excess amount that'll push your body into a point where it has too many calories and it feels like, oh, we got to push these on the fat burner or back burner. All right. That's the way that I see when you want to compare. If anyone wants to decide to actually just lose weight, more so that comes from when somebody decides to just do cardio, or if you want to actually apply weights and cardio. So weights and cardio is going to give you that effect. You're going to turn your body into a fat burning machine, because not only will you burn calories while you are actually in the gym, but you're going to burn calories after you leave the gym, when you're sleeping at night, when you're chilling at work and you're at the desk and you're just drinking or eating away at your grilled chicken or your salad or your little rice cakes or something like that, something that is of the caloric amount that's needed. That's where and when you're going to see some fantastic results. Hopefully I answered the question to the fullest and best of ability that is, understanding for you. JG said, what's up, Dorothy? Just so you see, JG showing you some love. All right, so looking ahead, say, yo, missed your live earlier. Yo, get in there, check that out. The live earlier was lit. This is the fitness joint, so it's a little tamed down. We don't do too much on here, but we try to keep everybody straight as far as who's in shape and who's not. Good damn evening, Americans. Yay, JG and CG. JG and CG is about to be a collabo. I'm working on it. All right, so JG says shoot me an email. Gotta make that happen. Skirt. JG, I'm gonna shoot you that email. Most likely it'll be tomorrow, because right now, you know what I'm saying, wifey just came home, kids just came home. I'm about to help them with some homework. Usually what I do is I try to actually lay all my politics and stuff, videos and stuff like that down, and show my kids more attention, just because, they need it. They've been at school all day, and I think it's necessary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the email, and then what I'll end up doing is shooting you that email tomorrow, and we'll get whatever you have going on straightened out. And so y'all know, like I said, I want to get JG in on a political channel, so we get him in on some kind of streaming action, and go from there. Hey man, you seem short. Oh, that was Drake with Scott. Glad you started a channel like this. Zanita, what up? Yo, Zanita, yeah, man, I know. Yo, Zanita, I know you had like snake diet and stuff like that. On your channel, you had some health stuff too. I looked at it. I went all the way back. I know you're gonna think I'm crazy. I went back all the way, like your old videos. I even think you was hitting the gym. Like, I give you props. You know what I'm saying? However you knock off your pounds, whatever you do, however you do it, I give everybody their props because to each his own. You know what I mean? I do it my way. If somebody comes to me and they're my actual client, will roll with the way that I do it. But I know for the most part, as people live and do their own personal self study, they learn the foods that work for them, the exercises. One of them that's really crazy is like my wife. So my wife's case, one day I'm gonna get her in on the stream so you can see like her build, like what she looks like. You know what I'm saying? Most people would say like she's really fit or whatever, but at the end of the day, a lot of what I've advised her to do may or may not have worked in the same way that things have worked for my clients. Sometimes my clients, I might throw them something real basic and it'll easily help them knock off 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 pounds. Where I've thrown the same information to my wife and she's done it right up under my wing. So I know there's no cheating being done or nothing like that going on. She may not see the same results. She may knock off like a pound, like half a pound. So that's why I tie it into to each his own when it comes down to the fitness. I'm just here to give y'all some advice. I usually cover my ass at the end of the day when I talk about anything that might help you. I'll always say, like, yo, I don't know how much weight you're gonna lose, but usually if this principle is done or if this type of exercise is done and it's done correctly, it usually equates to some fat loss or some weight loss. I'm not going to tell you how much fat or how much weight because I don't want to be the part one in a position where I need to stand corrected because I gave you some bad info. I don't shoot numbers out until I've actually worked with your body type for a period of time. If I worked with you and I know you usually typically lose like 2, 3 pounds on a weekly basis, then I'll easily start to gauge 2 or 3 pounds as the marker that we need to stick with in order to continuously see those good results or to continuously stay on track. Everybody showing Jericho love. Anna says Jericho up on the chat. Yeah, yo, Jericho be coming in on my little fitness channel. I like that. Zanita the Christian Patriot says saggy arms is it weight loss or fat loss? I'm sorry, fat loss or just build muscle to get rid of it. So saggy arms, we gotta define saggy arms because I'm about to show you saggy arms, okay? I have them, all right? Just don't get it confused. Just know and understand that, like, listen, the tricep at times, depending on what position your arm is in, the tricep might not seem like it's all the way up to par in the area that you would like it to be. So I'm gonna show you real quick example. You might call my arm saggy. Look at that. Look how they flaps, right? Just like that. I could even stop shaking. I know it's a big muscle or whatever, but I'm just saying there's people that actually get out there like, yo, my gosh, my arms, I need to get it to where it's like 100% like tight all the time. And it's like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. So I know and understand that some people might have an issue with their arms entirely, you know, in general. But all I need you to understand is like, yo, if that be the case, just know and understand that if you hold your arm up like that, it does jiggle. All right, this is normal. I think my body fat is somewhere between like 11 and 14, maybe 13 right now. So it's low. It's going lower right now. But I'm just showing you that I don't have much body fat on my body, but my arms can still wobble and jiggle the same way that people call like bat wings and stuff like that. It's just how the tricep sits. But if you were to flex it, yeah, it'll stay stiff. You know what I mean? It doesn't shake as much, but it always shakes. Just trying to get y'all to see that and understand that. You could take an individual such as myself in somewhat really healthy condition, but mine still jiggles even with the low body fat percentage. That tends to be the case. If you're working with something more than what I'm showing you, then yes, that could be a problem area that you may want to correct, but we'll dive into that on a different chat. We'll talk about target training and is it even possible. Oh, I got you. So Zanita kind of rearranged the question. So the question ended up tying into what she said on her second statement. And she's asking if you want to, I think this is what, if I'm correct, if you want to get rid of the sagginess on the arm, is it in your best interest to burn fat or is it in your best interest to build muscle? You're going to want to do a little bit of both, okay? You're going to want to do a little bit of both. And what you're going to end up doing is you're going to have a part of your arm. So there is no such thing as target training. I'll dive into more details on a different video. But you still have the ability to try to make as much improvement to that individual area as you possibly can. So even though there's no such thing as target training, if I have a huge problem with my triceps, that doesn't necessarily mean because there's no target training, I completely neglect the triceps and focus on fat loss. I want to do a combination of both. So I want to focus on fat loss, and I also want to make sure that I actually work my triceps. When it comes down to working your triceps, if that's the area that you have the most problems in, when it comes down to working your triceps, you're going to want to tie in exercises such as tricep kickbacks, tricep pushdowns, tricep extensions. Tricep extensions is an exercise that is also called skull crushers. Skull crushers is a more bodybuilding term that a lot of bodybuilders tend to use, and the name really speaks for itself. It requires you to have a somewhat heavy weight over your head, and it does stand a chance of actually crushing your skull. That's where it gets the name. But that tends to not really be the case when you see how the exercise is done in the position that you're in. It's just the name, but it doesn't really ever happen unless you get a really sloppy person on the bench. But for the most part, those are just a few tricep exercises that you could actually tie into your routine to make improvements in that area. You can also throw in tricep dips. If you decide to throw in those tricep exercises, definitely be mindful that you don't want to just work your triceps. Okay, you want to also tie in some bicep exercises and also some shoulder exercises. And if you're a bodybuilder and you really want to go hard with building as much muscle as possible, you could also throw in some forearm work if that makes you happy. I tend to do it here and there. I think it improves a lot in my field of work. It's something that's needed, so I tend to work my forearms all the time. If I get the chance, it usually ties into my bicep routines. And that's how I usually do it. But again, Zanita, if you're dealing with arms that you don't like or any problem area throughout your body that you're not happy or comfortable with, be mindful of where that area is, and be sure to not neglect the area itself and only focus on fat loss. You're going to want to focus on fat loss and also building the muscle, not only for that particular muscle group, but you're also going to target and focus on the muscle groups around it. Okay, let me get up off this one, man. It's getting a little bit too long. For those who are brand new coming in the building, y'all get at me tomorrow. I'm gonna be cooking. I'm gonna show y'all what I can do in the kitchen. I'm a beast. I know you can't taste it, but you see the seasonings. You see the little lettuce and the little leafy things that they throw, a little thyme and all that. That's what I'm gonna get into tomorrow. Hopefully y'all like it. I'm just trying to show y'all how simple it is to actually break out some grilled chicken, salads, and cook, and how much more of a benefit you're going to actually have by choosing that route opposed to trying to go out and get your Chipotle and things like that. Other than that, let me finish up the chat and see if there's any more things that y'all need me to cover. Andrea R., thank you so much. I hope you're learning a lot. Dorothy Perez, bye CG, Jericho, and chat. What time tomorrow? I know, Dorothy. I don't know right now. I'm looking, especially on the fitness side of things, I'm looking to possibly come up with a routine on an actual time that I actually decide to do the show. That's kind of where I'm going. I think I'll be more successful not only with my turnout, because I feel like if y'all know, you know what I'm saying? I know the political thing is different. But I feel like if y'all know as far as like when I'm actually come on with the physical fitness channel, it might be easier for you to pull up. I know it's hard for y'all to come through because I just kind of just spring it on you and you're like, oh, damn, I'm over here eating dinner with the hubby and I don't got no time for CG right now. I get to him later. That's cool too. But I know sometimes y'all like the live streams. Sergeant Bear says, thanks for the tip on the protein shakes. I've been lifting for years and had never heard that. Yeah, I mean, that's a big one. And you can look it up too and see that a lot of what I say and speak on, I'm speaking from experience. I mean, and I live it on a day-to-day. It's not something that I've done last year, 2 months ago. I've had my protein shake. I've been taking it for the last 10 years. And it always goes down the same way. It's never changed. So outside of that, yeah, I'm going to be getting in the kitchen. I'm going to be cooking. I don't know the time right now, Dorothy. Just look out for me in the afternoon. Most likely, I will definitely run my fitness channel after If I decide to do anything on the political channel, it'll be the fitness usually will come in after. That's usually how I'm considering setting it up. Other than that, I think that's it. I think we're done for the day. I think we covered a lot. It's been an hour and 14 minutes. You're going to see, I mean, not only in this video, if you look back at a lot of the other videos that I've done, I'm telling you, I'm bringing fitness to a different level, a different level. Like I said, I've been in the industry for a little while now, especially in YouTube, and I've seen a lot of what a lot of people cover. And when you go into certain avenues, such as like your Athlete X, you have those other big names that are really giving you information as far as like how to get bigger biceps, how to get bigger shoulders and stuff like that, where the information that I'm trying to give you is like more in depth and detail, such as the joint that I did with the 9 to 5. Like, you know, a lot of people like to take the 9 to 5 and consider that as a replacement for their cardiovascular activity. And I dived into all types of ins and outs on why that's not the best idea over a prolonged period of time. It'll work for you in the beginning, but it's not the best for a prolonged period of time. It's something that you would want to think about if you were going to use that as a form of cardiovascular activity. So things like that and a lot of other stuff that you've seen in my channel. I want to talk about sleep. I want to talk about water, things like that, that'll actually have a big effect on your goals and what you have going on. And this will all help you guys out. And that's my main thing. For those who want to, you know, deal with me on a program level, eating regimen, things like that, I have links in the description. If it's not in this video, check on a previous video and you'll be able to see it. But I'll have links in the description where I can shoot you meal plans or anything like that if you're looking to get anything specific. Because I'm telling you right now, all the information that I'm giving you on this stream is general. It's just general. It'll work for anybody or everybody. When you actually message me and tell me, hey, look, I'm looking to lose 10 pounds, build 5 pounds of muscle, and I'm going to be working out 5 times a week for 30 minutes a day, what do I need to do? That's the information that usually I request in order for me to make a concrete eating regimen, exercise regimen. I also need to know about injuries. Do you have any injuries? Do you have any past exercise experience? Are you a member of a gym? If you're a member of a gym, what gym is it? Have you ever had a personal trainer? If you have never had a personal trainer before, why have you never explored that option? Or if you have had a personal trainer in the past, how was your experience with that trainer? How much weight did you lose? How close to your goal did you actually get? All that information is what I would need to gather if I deal with you individually, and I could give you a more detailed program and eating regimen that'll be geared towards your goals. But what I speak on this channel, yeah, some of the information is critical, is valuable, and you could take it and use it, and it'll definitely work for you. But again, it's not the all be all. It'll only be that type of a situation if I know more about you, your goals, and more information pertaining to what you're trying to do. But let me get up off this one. It's getting a little bit too long. Y'all tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna get in the kitchen. I'm gonna do some stuff there. I'm gonna have more questions. Just like I gathered a bunch of questions today. Some of those questions I thought off the top of my head that I've been asked frequently, not only in the workplace, but I get asked certain questions even at the grocery store, whatever. That's all what I want to tie in and see if I could get that answered on cam, just so y'all could actually, you know, be able to learn a little bit. Cool. I'm done. I ain't gonna say no more. Hopefully y'all learned a lot. Dorothy, thank you so much for coming out. I don't think so. I guess I can't do. There's no super chat on this. I guess there's no super chat. I don't know if I get super chats anyway. But that's how it works. If you do want to donate to me, if you like the way that I covered today's show and you do feel like you want to donate, feel free to get in either on my political channel, or I usually have it in the description below where you can actually shoot me $1 on PayPal or Venmo, whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's what it is. I'm gonna get up off this one, man. I've been going at it for a little while. I gotta, for those that care, I'm gonna go hang out with the kids, do some homework. I'm gonna cook as far as what I'm gonna eat. I think I'm gonna do a salad. I already had some Chipotle today, so the carbs from Chipotle happen to be on the higher end. I need to bring them down. I work tonight, so I actually will be going into the workplace And what I'm gonna be doing, if y'all checked out my last video, I gave y'all some information on intermittent fasting. That is something that I practice inside in the workplace. Usually, I find myself cutting off my food sometime around this time in the evening, and then I won't consume any food until the following um, morning, anywhere between like 11, maybe 12, or 1 o'clock. Just so y'all know, or kind of get an idea of how I work. And if you have any questions about what I do, I could clearly explain kind of why, and hopefully that'll make some sense. Salty Arm and his legions. I got Angry Salt in the building. Yo, Angry Salt, what up, what up? So everybody that has come, thank you so much. Everybody that has liked this video, thank you so much. Again, I hope y'all learned a lot. I try to keep it all rapid fire, don't waste no time, no energy. I think this was a lot of information, especially if you're brand new to the fitness game and you're trying to get your feet wet. You gained a little bit of weight with that little virus thing and you're trying to get it off. I'll try and guide you through, man. But yeah, somebody tell Anomaly, man, don't work out. So I try to shoot him messages, but I don't know. He got so many followers, so many messages coming his way. I don't know if he hears me out, but he don't want to be working out every single day. You don't want to do 7 days. You're gonna grow more the more you rest. And then I don't know. He's doing jumping jacks on the cam. That's great. And he starts lifting. But I did break it down to y'all exactly how it works. The moment you leave the gym, the body starts the repairing process. Like boom, starts that repairing process. Boom, like get it going, get it going, get it going. Get your calories, get your sleep, get all what's necessary to repair. But the moment you get back out and start lifting again, you diminish the recovery process and you start it over. So every time I see this man get on his stream and he starts lifting away, I'm like, bro, you need to rest. Like, let them biceps rest, bro. It'll benefit so much more. But I don't know. Maybe he's joking. I'll be thinking like maybe he's joking. The way that he speaks on it and says the information on it, I don't know. Maybe he's not serious. I'll be taking Dorothy laughing. Yeah, because I be seeing. I'm like, yo, this man he could do some work. Like he could do some damage in the gym. I seen long, elongated muscles lift a little bit more than like some of them big boys. Um, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe he'll respond to some of my messages. But I'm gonna get up off this one. Dorothy, thank you for coming. Andrea, thank you for coming. Sergeant Bears, Zanita, Draper Scott, Jericho Green, Anna Rodriguez, looking ahead, the underdog Uzumaki. Thank you all of y'all for dropping your chat. Renee B, the nurse. Thank you so much. Anybody that did not chat, anybody that came in, got a few facts I needed to leave out. Anybody that lost connection, thank you so much for coming out. Y'all keep it locked. I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Again with more questions. We're gonna cook. I'm gonna see if I could break out a little home workout. Look down. Hopefully the neighbors don't complain when I start making the noise or whatever. And we'll kind of just go from there, man. But other than that, I'm gonna get up off this one, man. Y'all know what it is. CG. I'm out.